What if the truth about aliens wasn't hidden somewhere in deep space, but right here on Earth, buried under secrecy for decades? A mystery so powerful that it changed history, silenced witnesses, and created one of the biggest conspiracy theories of all time. This story begins in 1947 in a quiet desert town known as Roswell, New Mexico, a place that would soon become the center of the most controversial event in modern history, the Roswell Incident. During the summer of 1947, life in Roswell was peaceful and ordinary. Vast desert lands stretched endlessly under the burning sun, and the silence of the countryside was only broken by the wind and distant animal sounds. Living in this isolation was a rancher named William Brazel, a simple and hardworking man who had spent years understanding every inch of his land. But one morning, after a powerful storm had passed through the night before, Brazel went out to check on his sheep and stumbled upon something that would change his life forever. Scattered across his field were strange pieces of debris unlike anything he had ever seen. At first glance, it looked like wreckage, but as he moved closer, he realized this was no ordinary material. Thin metallic sheets lay across the ground, reflecting sunlight in an unusual way. When he picked them up, they felt incredibly light, almost like plastic, yet they were impossible to bend or break. No matter how hard he tried, the material would not tear, burn, or even scratch. It was as if it had properties beyond anything known to science at the time. Alongside the metal, Brazel noticed small stick-like structures marked with strange symbols. These symbols didn't resemble English or any known language. They appeared almost alien, as if they belonged to a civilization far more advanced than humanity. A sense of unease began to grow inside him. He had seen storms, debris, and even aircraft wreckage before, but this was completely different. Something deep inside told him that this discovery was not normal, and perhaps not even from this world. Feeling both confused and disturbed, Brazel decided to report the discovery to local authorities. What happened next was swift and unexpected. Military personnel quickly arrived at the scene, spreading out across the land and carefully collecting every piece of debris. Witnesses later claimed that the operation was highly organized and unusually fast, as if the military already knew what they were dealing with. Trucks were loaded with the mysterious material, and within a short time, the entire area was cleared, leaving no trace behind. On July 8, 1947, something happened that shocked not just Roswell, but the entire United States. The United States Army Air Forces released an official statement claiming they had recovered a flying disc. The announcement spread rapidly through newspapers and radio broadcasts, capturing the attention of millions. For the first time, it seemed possible that humanity had encountered something not of this earth. People were filled with excitement, fear, and endless questions. Had aliens really visited our planet? But just as quickly as the story broke, it was taken back. Only a day later, the military issued a new statement saying the object was nothing more than a weather balloon. The sudden change confused the public and raised serious doubts. How could trained military officials mistake a simple balloon for a flying disc? The explanation felt too convenient, too rushed, and many people began to suspect that something far bigger was being hidden. As years passed, the mystery of Roswell refused to fade. Instead, it grew stronger. In the 1970s, new witnesses began to come forward, sharing stories that added even more mystery to the event. Some claimed they had seen small, non-human bodies being recovered from the crash site. Others described a second location where an actual craft had been found, damaged but not completely destroyed. According to these accounts, the military had sealed off the area and removed everything in complete secrecy. Many of these witnesses also spoke about a highly classified location known as Area 51, a place rumored to house alien technology and secret experiments. Some believed that the debris and bodies recovered from Roswell were taken there for study, hidden away from the public eye. For decades, the government neither confirmed nor denied these claims, adding even more suspicion and intrigue to the story. Eventually, the government did offer an explanation, stating that the debris was part of a classified project known as Project Mogul, which involved high-altitude balloons used to monitor Soviet nuclear activity during the Cold War. While this explanation satisfied some, many others remained unconvinced. Too many questions were left unanswered, and too many witness accounts seemed too detailed to ignore. To this day, the Roswell incident remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history. Was it truly just a secret military experiment, misunderstood and exaggerated over time? Or was it something far more extraordinary? Evidence of extraterrestrial life that was deliberately hidden from the world? The truth may still be out there, waiting to be discovered, hidden behind layers of secrecy and time. And perhaps the most unsettling question of all is this: if something really did visit Earth that day, are we truly alone, or have we never been alone at all?
But the deeper you go into the Roswell story, the stranger it becomes. Because what most people don't realize is that the events of 1947 didn't happen in isolation. They occurred during a time of global tension, secrecy, and technological race. The world had just come out of World War II, and a new silent conflict had already begun, the Cold War. Governments were developing advanced technologies, secret weapons, and surveillance systems. In such an environment, secrecy wasn't just normal. It was necessary. And that's exactly why many researchers believe the truth about the Roswell incident may have been buried under layers of classified information. In the years following the incident, multiple military officials who were present that day began to change their stories. Some initially supported the weather balloon explanation, but later admitted that what they saw didn't match that description at all. One officer even described the material as something that could return to its original shape after being crumpled, something far beyond the technology available in 1947. This raised an even bigger question. If the material wasn't from a weather balloon, then where did it come from? Some theories suggest that it may have been an experimental aircraft, possibly from another country. Others believe it could have been a top-secret American project so advanced that even most military personnel weren't aware of it. But these explanations still fail to account for the reports of non-human bodies. And that's where the story takes a darker turn. Several witnesses, including alleged military insiders, claimed that small humanoid bodies were recovered from the crash site. These beings were described as having large heads, oversized black eyes, and thin, fragile bodies. According to these accounts, they were not wearing traditional clothing, but something more like a seamless suit. While skeptics argue that these stories were exaggerated over time, supporters believe they are pieces of a hidden truth, fragments of a reality that was never meant to be revealed. As the decades passed, Roswell transformed from a local incident into a global phenomenon. Books were written, documentaries were produced, and investigators dedicated their entire lives to uncovering what really happened. Each new piece of information seemed to raise more questions than answers. One of the most debated aspects of the case is the government's response. Why was the initial statement about a flying disc released at all? If it was truly a simple mistake, why wasn't it handled more carefully? And why did the military move so quickly to recover and remove all evidence from the site? These inconsistencies have led many to believe that the truth was intentionally hidden, not just from the public, but possibly even from lower-level officials within the government itself. Then there is the mystery of Area 51. For decades, this location remained officially unacknowledged, despite numerous reports and leaked documents suggesting otherwise. Some believe it became the center for studying the recovered materials from Roswell. Others claim it was used to reverse engineer alien technology, leading to advancements that would later shape modern aviation and electronics. While there is no confirmed evidence to support these claims, the secrecy surrounding Area 51 has only fueled speculation. After all, when information is hidden, the human mind naturally tries to fill in the gaps. But perhaps the most fascinating part of the Roswell story is not the evidence, or the lack of it. It's the impact. Roswell didn't just create a mystery, it changed the way people think about the universe. It opened the door to the possibility that we are not alone, that intelligent life may exist beyond our planet, and that contact may have already happened. Even today, nearly 80 years later, the story continues to inspire curiosity, debate, and imagination. Scientists search the skies for signals from distant civilizations, while investigators continue to dig through old records, hoping to uncover something that was missed. And yet, despite all the research, all the theories, and all the years, no definitive answer has ever been found. Which brings us back to the same haunting question. What really happened in Roswell? Was it a misunderstood military experiment, hidden under layers of Cold War secrecy? Was it a coincidence, exaggerated by rumors and human imagination? Or was it something far more extraordinary? Something that challenges everything we believe about our place in the universe? Because if even a small part of these stories is true, then the implications are enormous. It would mean that humanity is not alone, that we are being watched, studied, or perhaps even visited. And if that's the case, then Roswell wasn't just an incident. It was a message that we may not yet fully understand. And maybe we're not supposed to, because some truths are too powerful to be revealed all at once. They remain hidden, waiting for the right time, waiting for us